So as we're doing lots of bits of work and jobs on our MGmetre, I thought I'd cover us replacing the top and bottom ball joint down here, and also the knuckle joint there. We have depressurised the suspension, and hopefully there'll be a video just on us doing that. And there's lots of little bits that we're doing, so it's a job to cover everything we're removing. So already the disc brakes and the braking system's been removed because we're doing work on that. That is something you'd probably want to remove to do this job, but we're not going to cover it in this video. As always, we're kind of doing a visual reference if you're looking into doing that job or going to do it and want a rough idea. So we're just going to cover the point at where we're in the process of removing the top and bottom ball joint and the knuckle joint, and making a little video just on that. What we're going to do to make things easier for us is firstly remove this nut here so we can remove the hub off of the car. So we're going to give that a little tap.
Right, that's nice and loose.
Right, so I thought I'd also just cover there on the top of the knuckle joint there. You can see that little piece of chrome showing, and that means that it's dropped down when we've depressurised the suspension, which is a good thing because it can sometimes get seized in there. So we're pleased that that has dropped down. And there's a little washer you can see there sitting on that shiny piece of metal, and you've got to make sure you don't lose that. Right, so what we're now going to do on the top and the bottom ball joint is just remove the little metal tags that of course stop the bolt from undoing. So we're going to do the bottom one first. And now we're going to do the top one the same. Yes, there's that little washer that we bent back so we could undo the nut. So we'll just down there, and then we'll put them all in a little tray as we always do, and that's the bottom one off as well, which is a bit more difficult for us to show. What we've also done is loosen there the steering arm nut, but we'll still have to snap that joint off with a little snapper. So I thought I'd just show you that as well. So they're the three things we're undoing to get the hub off, but also as part of that, that's so we can change those top and bottom ball joints there. Right, so we're just going to get that fully off, and we're not going to be changing that ball joint in the steering arm because they were, as far as we know, not changed that long ago in mileage, and they look pretty good as well. But that would also be a good chance if you needed to change them while you're doing this job, I would have thought. So we're now going to use the ball joint snapper breaker to release the steering arm there from that arm that comes off of the hub. And this is the most sort of straightforward and easy and less damaging way to do it, and we certainly prefer using these to do this. and that's it out. Doing this, just putting the nut back on, that doesn't get lost, and the thread is less likely to get damaged on that end. What we'll now do is remove the top and bottom joint in the same way. We're going to start off by doing the bottom ball joint. We've got a slightly bigger ball joint snapper there because these are a bit bigger, and again it'll make it easier for us and less likely to do any damage, hopefully. And that's that one out, and we've just lifted the whole piece out there, and now we can do the top one. So this probably gives you a better view doing the top ball joint and snapping it there from the hub.
It's gone.
Oh, so that one's gone a little bit easier and quieter, and that's it all away. And there you can see the hub coming away, and we're just undoing the little nut there which we left on so it couldn't fully slide off, and there it is away. Right, so we're now going to remove the knuckle joint from the displacer unit, and as I say again, there is a video we're doing just on depressurising the suspension, so it's already depressurised on this. And what we need to do first is get the displacer unit removed, because we need that out the way to remove the knuckle joint. So we've got to remove the bracket there that holds it, and you can see that in the centre of the screen with the big rubber bump stop, and there's 4 bolts. So we'll get those bolts out, get that removed, and then the displacer unit can be removed.
Yeah, I think it's better to strip those sides out in the end.
Right, so what we're now doing there is just removing the top bolts, and right, so what we're doing there is just removing the top nuts from that bracket. Now the bottom ones are captive, but these top ones aren't, so I've just come around to hold the spanner there so we can get those off. Right, so we've now removed the nut on the other side. We needed the spanner for that, and we've also removed the pump from the valve there, because we now know that all the pressure is definitely out, and as I said, we're covering that in another video. And here is that bracket, and we're just, hopefully you can see they're removing the displacer unit out. Make sure we don't drop that little spring. Yeah, so there's the bracket there that we removed, so we'll just put that out the way. And there is the displacer unit with the spring in, so we can now store that safely and get on with the rest of the job. Right, so hopefully there you can see with the displacer unit removed, we've got a nice view of the knuckle joint we're removing. We've took the little washer off the top, and it's important that you keep that safe and it goes back.
Right, now I'm going to flip the rubber off.
So we're going to get the little rubber boot off now. Right, so there, we just pulled the rubber boot back. As you can see, that's definitely gone. It's very rusty in there, and the weather and contamination has got in. So, yeah, that definitely did need changing.
Right, and also, there's the plastic bush it sits in. There. So, you get the knuckle joint out, then you have to flip the plastic bush out on its own.
Right. There it is, and there it is out.
And there's the plastic bush that we've got to get out.
Yeah, so hopefully you can see there's the ball that was in there, so it is just really its own suction and tightness that holds that in once the hydrogas suspension is removed off the top. And yeah, you can see how the dirt and the rust are starting to get in there under the boot. And then we've just got to remove the little plastic cap, and we'll see whether that's actually started to wear through or damaged. We're doing removing the little rubber
bump stop, because on ours they're worn, they need replacing.
So it's not something you'd normally need to do, but we remove it on ours because we're going to replace them. And that will just come under here, and hopefully you can just about see it. You can probably see it's in quite a bit of a mess, so it's well worth us changing them while we're doing the job, and I'll show you that when it comes out. Right, so what we're now going to do is just get that plastic cap out of the arm there. When you get the new knuckle joint, the plastic cap comes new with it.
Got to come out without it breaking up, which makes a change.
Right, so as you see there, I've just moved position slightly so we could get better access to get it out. Sometimes they come out easy, and at other times they're a bit of a job. This time it was a bit of a job to come out, and here it is now. It's out, and it was fully intact, which is probably why it was a bit more difficult coming out. Normally what you'd find is this bottom part of the plastic cap will be completely worn away, and that's when you'll get that sort of tapping or knocking as that ball joint moves about in the hull where that plastic has worn away. As we said, we're changing them because we're doing a lot of work. We want to make sure they were done, and the weather was starting to get in, so eventually with mileage that one would have worn away. So yeah, hopefully that has give you a good view of it coming out, and also a good view of this plastic cap as well. Right, so we've got the hub away from the car now, and what we're going to do is be removing the top and bottom ball joint. That's the top one, bottom one is there. We put a little bit of tissue paper in there to hopefully protect the bearings so no dirt or lots of dirt gets in there, and that's ready for when we clean it and when we're storing it and moving it about. So these have got lock washers on them, once again there to stop them coming undone. You can see there is the surface of almost the bolt holding it in, and there's the edge of the washer, and there's where it's been knocked over so that it can't undo. So we've got to hook that up first of all and then get them undone, and that'll be the same top and bottom. Right, so that's the lock washer bent back up.
and they are very tight usually, these.
And that's it away. And there's the old one away, a sealed unit, so we've got replacements for that. And now what we're going to do is get the one on the other side out. Right, so just like the other side, we've just been knocking up that lock washer again, ready for us to undo it. And that's the other one out there. Right, so we're now ready to clean all that up, and of course we'll paint it as well. I just thought I'd show you the knuckle joint there. Now we've got it out. I think it may be a job shot on the camera, but I think you can see just where that's been starting to wear there, and you can even see a slight flat spot on it. So it was definitely going, and the weather had definitely got in there. But I just thought now we've cleaned off all the dirt and got it here for you in a better light. I'll just show you that so you can have a look at that. Yes, this is the side we were getting the knocking from, but we are doing both sides. So I know we're only showing you all on this one side. We are doing both sides together, and probably I'll show you them all when they're cleaned up and painted and fitted back together. We're just going to follow the process of this side in detail. Right, so we're now going to wire brush this and get it ready for painting. And what I thought I'd show you is while we're cleaning those other bits, the bits from the other side, we're then keeping all in a tray together, all the bits that are ready to be painted, they've been cleaned, and we're doing the same with the other side, putting them all together as that side, all cleaned, ready to paint. Right, so I thought I'd just show you this. We are on the driver side. Most of the stuff we've been doing is on the passenger side, but as I said, we've been doing the job both sides. It's just easier for me to get in here. On this upper arm, if I just lift that out the way, on that ledge there sits a little rubber bump stop. There it is removed, and it is a little Phillips screw that holds it in. We're going to be replacing these, but I thought I'd show you what sort of state it's in, but also show you this, because one other way you can do it if you weren't depressurising the suspension is to jack it up and remove that to give you sort of more wiggle room in there. So it's certainly well worth being aware of it. The problem is, and even we had a little bit of trouble on these, is that the little flip screw obviously gets all the weather, and they do often tend to seize in all their job to come out. So hopefully when we put them back as new ones, and well sort of lubricate them, and we may even put a little bolt head on there instead of a Phillips screw, we wouldn't have any problems getting it out in the future. And as you can see, what we've been doing is cleaning it all up and getting all the sort of dirt and grease out of there. Right, so I thought I'd also show you there, I'll point to it there, there's a little grease nipple there, and that's one that often gets forgotten, but it's really important to regularly grease that to stop wear in there and to keep everything working well. So it's well worth taking note of that as well. So what we'll do, we'll keep this as a template for now, so we know what it looks like and we can compare it against the new ones, and hopefully you'll see just how nice the new ones are. Now, it was worth changing this. Well, you could probably see that anyway with the state the rubber is in. Yeah, it'd certainly be worth changing them. So I just thought I'd cover that as part of us getting everything clean on both sides and everything removed that we want to. Right, so I just thought I'd cover how after giving the hubs a wire brush, we've given them a coat of red oxide ready for us to paint. Hope that gives them a nice key and rust protection in the future. Right, so we're now putting the first coat of our black hammerite on the hubs. You can see that one we've now done, and this one we're currently doing. Right, so that's the hubs all nice and painted with their second coat, and they're just drying off in the sun, and then we'll be on to the next stage. Right, so we've now painted the suspension units, and we're about to put them back. As you can see, this one we've just sat up in place, and of course that's the empty spot where the other side will go. And if we just now go underneath, and what we've got there, we've got the new knuckle joint in, and we've just lowered that on top. And what I'll do is show you on the other side the knuckle joint going in. But I thought while we're doing this one, we just show you a little bit, and that's the outer bracket under the wheel arch that then fixes it on. So you just come up the top, and you can see the bottom nut is fixed onto the black part of the bracket, and then this side it's a loose nut and spring washer, and that's the same on the other side. So we'll get on and do that. So we're just doing them up tight now. We've got the one around the back side, and we've made sure this has stayed in, and we've made sure it's sitting nicely before we definitely just tighten it up. And as we've got the other one there ready to go in, we've got all the bits laid out, the right bolts, of course the rubber boot that's there, this spring, and of course I think we covered us removing this little rubber bump stop, and we've now got that back in place on the newly painted bracket as well. So it's all there and ready to go back, just as we've got the other one back, and we'll show you that as we do it. So we're on the passenger side, and we're just now giving the point there a little bit of a clean in there, just to make sure it's clean before we put everything back. Just going to put a little bit of copper slip in where the knuckle joint's going to go, and hopefully that will mean it shouldn't ever get stuck in there in the future. Right, so we're just going to get the new knuckle joint out of its little plastic bag, and yeah, it's lovely to see it nice and new and ready to go back in.
Not forgetting to put the 2 washers on. On there like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a bit more copper slip on this. Where's it gone? A little bit more copper slip on there like that. Push that into the hole.
That's now in place, and hopefully you see the plastic cap on the underneath. Hopefully point that out. So that was the bit that had worn away on the old one, and now on the display sheet we're just going to put that rubber boot on. We've cleaned that up a little bit now, so that's hopefully a little bit better of a rubber protector. And hopefully that'll help stop it aging in the future. We'll give it a little bit of protection as well. It's one of those things you just got to work on and get it in place.
That's it. Spring.
Yeah.
In there like that. ready to go in. Getting the valve roughly in position where it's going to sit, and then spring on there like that. Right. Okay. Then push it. That's got it. Pushing that right in. How's the valve?
Yeah, it's more or less in place. If you go in now, twist it round and down, that's it. That's in place now.
It's in place.
Yeah, that is in place now.
Right, that's in place.
And now all we need to do is put the bracket on. Right, so we just put a little bit of copper slip on all the bolts as we did round on the other side, and then we can offer the bracket up. So if I just come back round to this side, and that will keep the unit in place. And as we did before, we'll get the 4 bolts in. And that's the back one.
Yeah, I'm doing that one first. Just nipping it up. That's the one into the captive hole first. Because that's the one will be awkward if it's how I want. Okay. Yeah.
Right, so that's the knuckle joints both back in the new ones, and the displacer units back, all nicely painted and clean. We've even put a nice new valve cap on, so they're protected. If we just come down here, you'll be able to see it all back into place with the new knuckle joints there. And the good thing is these displacer units aren't linked by any pipes, which makes it a lot more straightforward. They're completely independent units with their own pumping up points. Right, so now you've seen us fit in the knuckle joint, it's time for us to do the top and bottom ball joints. We've got the hub here, so you've got one top and bottom there, and these are the ball joints we're going to be fitting, so they're all ready, nice and new to fit. We've got 2 of them, one's in the box, one we've got out ready to fit on to the hub there. So that's what we're going to be doing next. We've got it in the vise, clamped with a cloth so we don't damage the paint that we've done. As always, if we have to do any little bits of touching up, we always go around once all the job's been done. We want to protect it as much as we can. Right, so we're going to put a little bit of copper slip on, and these are pre-adjusted, so there's nothing that needs to be done there as well, which makes it a little bit more simpler to fit these.
Lock washer on first.
Right, so we're now going to get that in as tight as we can by hand, and then we'll put them to the specified torque setting. As we've probably said in this video on all of them, we normally use the Haynes manual to get our torque settings, and it's important to look up specifically for your car the torque settings that are going to work for that particular car and job. Right, so that's the torque setting done. Right, so that's the top one done, and as you see we've set it to the specified torque setting. Now we're going to do the lock washer so it can't come undone during its use of life.
This one the opposite way.
Right, so hopefully you can see there that we've got the lock washer tapped down over the body there, and then this way back the other way over the nut, so that nut cannot easily come undone at all, and it's set to its torque setting. And all we're going to do is just put the little protector over it, so that whilst it's sitting there before we fit it, it's hopefully a little bit more protected, and we'll go on to doing the other bottom one now. So we're just opening that, and this one exactly the same as this end, just in reverse, so that both of them will be fitted. So once again with a little bit of copper grease on, and of course we've got that big lock washer. I want to make sure that's on, you don't forget that, otherwise you'd have to get it all back out again. So again we'll hand threadle it in, do it as tight as we can by hand, and then set the torque setting. Right, so we've now got that out of the vise, and as you see we've knocked over the lock washer on this one, both sides, just as we had done on this one. So now it is ready to go back on the car. So that just gives you a nice look at it there, out of the car with both ball joints on there ready to fit. And as always we've got our tray of bits with all the bits that we took off that we're going to reuse, and any new bits that come in the packet, which will show you them being used when we're putting it on the car. Right, so we're just going to move the drive shaft nut. We've had it on there so that that thread doesn't get damaged while we've been overhauling the hub, getting it painted and putting those ball joints back in, and of course getting the knuckle joint in there for the bottom of the suspension unit. Hopefully you can just about see that there. So we're just getting it all ready to get the hub back on with the two new ball joints. So we're just going to show you the driver's side going on. Of course we've got the passenger side all there ready to put those ball joints in and do, but that's identical to this side. So I think we just show you this side in detail. Right, so we're just putting a little bit of grease around where the seal's going to run.
That's where the bearings are going to sit. This will stop them seizing on. And don't forget to put your seal protector back. Okay. The lip is on that side, and that to run on the seal lip is that side. These can sometimes cause a horrible squeal if they get dry. And in the early days, they gave so much trouble, we were tempted to leave them off. But they don't seem to be so much bother now, so I still put them on.
We've never had a problem with them on the Metro.
No, it was just the very early, particularly with the minis for some reason. Right, we'll basically feed it let me now, like that. That is still depressurised at this stage. Oh, God.
Do you want me to lift it in? Or
Right.
hopefully you've seen us get the bottom and top ball joint in. There's a job for us to get in there, but hopefully you're able to see that, and we've got a good enough angle of those both going in. Right, so we're now going to put on the special little sort of unusual shaped lock washer before we put the nut
This is
on.
to knock down on that bit there.
And these nuts have got Loctite on as well, so it's almost like double protection, or protection against the undoing. And it's exactly the same for the bottom, that same unusual shaped washer, and then the Loctite nut. Right, so we're now doing it up to the specified torque setting, and we're trying to keep the lock washer in the right position so that you can then use it to hold the bolt from undoing. Although we've covered it, we're doing this. And just to refresh you, we're doing this with the suspension depressurised. I think we have covered that. So we're now going to knock down the lock washer.
Now we'll torque it up and lock the other side. Now just make sure that it's down hard still. And then the other way.
So you can see there that we've got it in, torqued down, and then the lock washer tapped up there and then tapped down there to make sure that can definitely not come undone. Now we're going to move down and do exactly the same on the bottom. So as before, we've knocked the washer up to lock it to the hub, but not down onto the bolt. Get it done up as tight as we can, and then go on to setting the torque setting. Then we can knock it down to lock the bolt. Right, so we're just going to put that back on there so it protects the thread just as we had it before we put the hub all back in with the new ball joints. Right, so what we're next going to do is put in the little teeny bump stop that goes in that little gap that I'll just pull out so you can roughly see where that is. And what we've done is got new ones because the one that was in there was very worn out. I think we did show you that, just sort of the state it was in. So I'll show you the new one because it's certainly going to be better, nicer to fit. So yeah, there's the new one. So yeah, in a lot better condition because the other one, this rubber, was all sort of chewed up and hard and horrible and gooey. So yeah, that's going to make a lot different. So we're now going to get that little stop in. Right, so we're just going to copper slip the screw because they can be a problem getting out. I think we had problems getting the original ones out.
Yeah,
so
I'm also
hope that protects it.
Bit of the grease has gone. Oh, all right. Also do this just to help it slide in there because it is tight going in sometimes.
Yeah, to get our suspensions depressurised, so we're able to do it with a lot more ease. Yes, hopefully you can see it there in place roughly. Then we just got to line it up so it lines up with that little hole so we can put the screw in. Right, so that's just got it all screwed in. It was a bit difficult to get in, and we said what we think we'd do is perhaps get that in before we put the hub in on the other side, and also check all the thread is clean with a little tap. But apart from that, it's in and done. It's nice to see the new one in, and certainly shows you just how bad the original ones were. Right, so we're just going to put the shield back on while we're here.
That goes onto the top there, where the track rodding goes through.
Right, so I think that's more or less us back to almost where we started. So we've got the knuckle joint in and the top and bottom ball joint in, everything nicely painted up. It's also a good chance to grease the grease nipple there with your grease gun, which we will do. We've been doing it over quite a long period of time, so hopefully we've covered everything and give you a good visual reference as we always try to. We've probably filmed a mixture of the drivers and the passenger side, but as I say, hopefully we've covered everything. We're going to leave it there and get on to the next job, which on this will be probably us putting back all the caliper and brakes, but we'll probably do that in another video. So for now, that's the end of that video. As always, thank you very much for watching.